What is up, everybody? Mike Fuji coming live on Fuji. Hey, welcome everybody. We are about 25 hours away from kickoff. The Super Bowl 59 World Champion Philadelphia Eagles banner will be dropping. Thank you for everybody tuning in tonight on this first episode of Fuji's Philly Flair on the Cole County Entertainment, along with our affiliate Out of the Box Sports Network. Tonight I'm waiting on my first guest, Miss Nakobe Dean, mother of Nakobe Dean. We were going to try to have Nakobe on as well, but he's doing some Eagles meetings this evening, I guess prepping for the big game tomorrow night. Hope everybody's doing well on this Super Bowl defending champion Eve down at the link tomorrow. I'll be down there, probably getting down there early. I'm sure people will be in the RV tailgating and whatnot, waiting to get into the lot. I know the lots will be opening at 1:30, so in case anybody's wondering what time to get down there, I would obviously say to get down there early because it's going to be a madhouse. The place is going to be rocking like an NFC championship game. And, the news that came out today is Nick Sirianni isn't going to let the players out on the field during the banner drop. So that is, I don't know. I think these players only may get to see that one time in their, some of them. But also the other news is tomorrow it's supposed to rain. And it's kind of coincidental because back in 2018, there was like an hour delay with thunderstorms when the Eagles opened up against the Atlanta Falcons when they dropped the banner. So talk about coincidental situations. If anybody has any questions to tune in, you want to talk about the big hype tomorrow, the big game as we wait for Miss Dean to log on. Also, again, there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of people coming in from all around basically the United States, posting pictures on Facebook coming to the Eagles game. Like I think the tickets are like $500 just for, what they're going for compared to like $150 for face value right now. Also, some other news that SEPTA, I believe they're adding more subway trains tomorrow with everybody coming down. I believe FanDuel jumped in as well, to give SEPTA a boost. And, hopefully, it's kind of a shame. Why can't FanDuel just do this? Why didn't they do that with the Phillies? Especially, playoff. Hopefully, maybe they will during playoff, Red October coming. So it should be interesting. Again, like I said, we are waiting on Miss Nakobe Dean to jump on with us. Anybody, wants to talk about the game tomorrow with any Eagles predictions, please let us know. Chime in. I believe, as they were saying, that Adoree Jackson will be starting opposite of Quinyon Mitchell tomorrow. So let's see what goes on there, at the Eagles' number 2 corner. Yesterday, I know, or today was it? yesterday. Landon Dickerson practiced. Miss Dean should be on in just a second. Landon Dickerson practiced. So Eagles are healthy, and we don't have to deal with Micah Parsons anymore. He's out of the NFC East. He's over in the black and blue division of the NFC North. I believe he is scheduled to play against the Lions this weekend, but God knows what kind of shape he's in. But at least we don't have to deal with Micah Parsons twice a year anymore. He's gone. That Dallas team is just a dumpster fire, and my colleague says 45-17 Eagles. Yeah, I think it's a blowout. I mean, my prediction is Eagles first, Washington second. I think the Giants are going to win about 7-8 games and shock the world. Also, I think they're going to be ahead of the Cowboys. But, we shall see. My prediction for the Super Bowl is, I would say, Eagles-Ravens, and the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. In case anybody wants to chime in with their predictions. Also, one second here, folks. I know Miss Dean is trying to log on. We always got these glitches. We had these glitches on end zone last night up at Goose's Monte Cristo Lounge with end zone with just a lot of technical difficulties. If anybody saw it, had a great show. Had some guests from around the league, talking different teams previews, but hopefully she'll be jumping on momentarily. I know the Phillies are playing tonight. I don't exactly have a score yet, but it's kind of strange how they were off last night and playing tonight. They start at 7:40, so I guess they'll be on in another half hour or whatnot. Let's see. I'm still waiting here. Like I said, if anybody wants to chime in, talk some birds, Phils, what's going to go on with this team? No Zach Wheeler. What do you got, about 20, 25 games left, if that? Should be interesting coming down the stretch now. If you could bear with me, let me just shoot Miss Dean a text here. Yeah, so momentarily Miss Dean will be on. I know she said she was logging on, but so it should be an interesting year. I'm predicting the Eagles to go 11 or 12 wins. It's funny with the schedule being you start off Dallas, Kansas City next week. The Rams, I believe Denver week 4. It's coincidental we play the Giants week 5, go to Minnesota, and the Giants again before the bye, and then you come out, and then you got Green Bay, go to Green Bay on a Monday night, come back, play Detroit. I believe you got Dallas in there. You got Chicago the day after Thanksgiving. I believe the Raiders somewhere in there. And it's just that back end of the schedule. You go to Washington December 20th. You play, you go to Buffalo 3 days after Christmas, and you play Washington and Philly. So that's kind of strange to be playing, Washington Washington, Buffalo, Washington, which that last game may not even mean anything. What are your thoughts on Jerry Jones getting chronologically frozen? Hey, it's, Jerry's, screwed this fan base for years. I mean, hey, you got to take your hat off to him. I mean, if I were a Cowboys fan, I'd be livid. I mean, it's an absolute disgrace. I mean, imagine if Jeff Lurie did that to the Eagles. I mean, this, like I was saying last night, this town would go ballistic. They'd probably storm the NovaCare, storm the Link, whatever. Like, this place would just, I mean, and I don't know about, I mean, people my age, we remember the bad days of the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, there were some bad times, and the younger generations here, I mean, it's, everybody's lucky. You've seen, 3 Super Bowl appearances in 8 years. So, I mean, there were some great days with Dick Vermeil, and then it went south for a couple of years under the Swamp Fox, Marion Campbell, and then you had, Buddy Ryan come in, build that defense, build one of the best defenses ever assembled in the NFL. But no, Buddy wrote a lot of checks the Eagles couldn't cash in on the playoffs. And I want to thank my man Anthony Robish for checking in. Just give me 1 second, folks. I'm going to, if you could just hold on here, I'm going to call Miss Dean. I know it looks like she's having some trouble logging on. Yes, Miss D will be on momentarily. Just got something going on at home. Just wanted to make sure she was still coming on to join us. Tom, I wish we had a list of the NFL games this week. Matter of fact, I believe I could pull that up myself while we wait for Miss D. No, go around the league this week, see who's playing who. Let's see. We got the Chiefs and the Chargers in Brazil, 8:00 on Friday. I think I don't know. I think the Chiefs are going to be upset in that game. Anybody wants to chime in on these games? Give me some scores as we wait. Let's see. We got Dolphins against the Colts, 1:00. We got the Steelers at the Jets. I say the Colts beat the Dolphins, not by much. Danny Dimes, a QB. God knows where that Miami team is. Steelers at the Jets. Aaron Rodgers making his appearance back at the Meadowlands. It's only 2 years removed from that Achilles when he tore it up, I believe, against Buffalo in that game 2 years ago. We got the Panthers and the Jaguars at 1:00 in Jacksonville. I say the Panthers take this game. I don't know what's going on with Jacksonville down there. First-year head coach Bryce Young, I believe he may resurrect his career. Cardinals at the Saints. I mean, that's another head scratcher. Kellen Moore in his head coaching debut. The Cardinals, I think I predicted them to finish third in the NFC West. You got the Giants and the Commanders. Another NFC East rivalry. It doesn't matter how good the team is, how bad the team is. The NFC East always shows up and plays, like a schoolyard street Philly fight. Buccaneers, I'm going to say the Giants pull an upset there. Buccaneers against the Falcons. Buccaneers, right now predicted to win that division. I think the Falcons are going to shock some people this year with that high potent offense. If Penix could get it together, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, and, I say the Buccaneers win, but I think the Falcons are going to make some noise this year. Also, we got the Bengals against Cleveland. That's a no-brainer. I mean, the Browns, just another dumpster fire this year. It's just, I'm sure it's hard being okay. Miss Dean is in the lobby. I will keep quiet. Hey, Miss D, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. Everything good?
Everything is good.
How you feeling these days? I know you're.
Well, I had ankle reconstruction surgery, so I'm in the midst of recovering. It's
Ooh.
been a little tough. Uh, I've learned that I need to stay off ATVs. So,
Oh.
yeah.
I want you to welcome to my show, Fuji's Philly Flair. You're the first guest I'm having on. I was going. We had Al and I had you on at the 50 last year. Not even last year. It was right around playoff time, or right after the Super Bowl.
Right.
And unfortunately, it would have been great to have Nakobe on, but as you said, he's doing some meetings with the team tonight.
Yep.
So you're not in Philly for the game. You're recovering.
Yep. And I never miss a game, especially a home game. So,
Right.
nope. This is a challenge, a big challenge.
So let me ask you this. Really hasn't been much about Nakobe. Is there a timetable of him returning?
Week 5. He's
Oh,
scheduled to return week 5.
I did see a video. I saw him working out, and he was training camp. I guess he was working out on his own, but doing exercises. But he seems like he's pretty much ahead of schedule with that patella tear.
Yeah, definitely.
From the Rams game.
He's ahead of schedule, but the doctor has the final say. And if you have a doctor that veers more on the conservative side, they're going to say, hey, let's give it a couple of days. So even if it's just missed game 1, well, they're still going to have him wait because, PUP, you got to automatically miss 4 games. So
I can only imagine he's like a bull in the china shop to get back out there on the field.
Oh, definitely. He's ready. So
right. I want to touch base a little bit on the ring. I know you said that you couldn't make the ring ceremony.
Right.
And I mean, I'm sure that ring is gorgeous. I've seen, different people actually, the way with the wings compared to the 2017 Super Bowl. I mean, this ring's gorgeous. If I heard correctly, didn't they say it's like a $50,000 ring or maybe more?
Something of that nature. Same thing I heard, but yes, it is absolutely gorgeous. The wings pop out.
Right.
If I was in Philly right now doing this, of course I could show it to you.
That's why I was.
Right. If I was in Philly right now, I could show it to you. So, but I'm not there.
My colleague behind the glass says, welcome to the show, as you can see on the screen here. So I just wanted to get in, a little bit about your history. I know we talked in the past, a couple months ago. You were in the U.S. Army for 8 years. Thank you for serving.
Welcome.
What I read, I saw you did. I think you went to Fort Dix a couple years ago at Nakobe, and met a lot of the veterans, and you could touch a little bit on your background of being in the military.
So yes, I'm actually a Desert Shield, Desert Storm Gulf War veteran. So
Right.
I did serve there. I was injured and hospitalized while in the service over there. So I was in Landstuhl, Germany, in the hospital. First, I was in King Fahad Military Hospital, actually, in
Okay.
Saudi, and then I was medevac to hospital in Germany, in Landstuhl, Germany, where I stayed 30 days before I actually went back and finished my tour of duty.
Nice. I know you raised Nakobe, your son Nicholas, and your daughter Brooklyn. To be give back to the community, and you were director of county affairs down in Tunica. Is it? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Tunica County, Mississippi.
Tunica County, that's it. That's
Is
it,
that
Tunica.
was that where you're originally from?
That's where I'm originally from Tunica
Okay.
County. Yes.
All right. And I was wanting to get in, a little bit about Nakobe playing at high school football, Pop Warner and high school, and going to the University of Georgia. If you
Okay.
could touch on that, just did he always want to play football? Was it a dream of his, or he just got good at it, or
Well,
what happened?
actually, when we were grew up in Tunica, so that's where I worked. And as a single mom, of course, sometimes it does take a village. So between my mom and my sister and my auntie and the Boys and Girls Club,
Right.
I had them there for after school programs. So Kobe was actually 4 when he started playing football. It was supposed to be just flag football, and they played him up because he was big. So he was matching with the 5-year-olds,
Right.
and he was supposed to be just grabbing the flag, but he'll grab the flag and then he'll tackle because
Right.
that's what he saw on TV. And it's like, no, Kobe, don't tackle. You can't tackle him. You just grab the flag. But on TV, when he look at football, because my aunt, she was a big TV person, so Sundays were football around here, so he always watch it intently. So he just thought he's supposed to tackle. And it went from there, from rec ball to middle school to high school, college, and now NFL. So the transition has just gone on. It's something that he wanted to do. I never
Right.
made him do it. The only thing I made him do was get those grades, all of them.
Right.
So football was something he wanted to do in any sports. He also played baseball.
Okay. I mean, was he originally a linebacker? Did he play any other positions?
He's always
Coming
been a
up.
linebacker.
Okay.
He's always been a linebacker.
All right. Now, did he receive like a lot of scholarships? I mean, besides like the University of Georgia.
He received every university you could think of, even to Harvard, because of his
Right. Oh
grades.
wow,
So,
that's
yeah,
great.
because he graduated with 4.3 GPA. He had the ACT score. So,
Nice.
academically, he was not challenged at all. He was ready academically. And of course, he had sports. So, I had a um, tote, a big, I don't know, maybe it's a 30-gallon tote full of acceptance letters
Wow.
from every university you can think of. So that was a blessing.
What made him choose to go to the University of Georgia?
Well, it wasn't my choice initially,
Right.
honestly. There was another university that surfaced out there that I wanted him to go to. And I know it was a tough decision for him, but he felt that that was his fit. His
Right.
fit was at the University of Georgia. So,
Okay. I
I
mean,
supported his decision. I didn't force him to go. He didn't want to go where I thought he should have gone, but ultimately, of course, he made the best decision.
right. See, Nakobe majored in mechanical engineering.
Yes.
Also, I mean, I want to get into a little bit with you with the I forget what your group's called. I know we talked about it back last time you were on with me about all the Georgia mothers, yourself, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Kaylee Ringo, and I forget the other gentleman's name on the team.
Nolan Smith.
No, yeah, Nolan Smith, and there's one other. Forget the I forget the player the Eagles drafted in the third round this
Jordan
year.
Davis. Well, no. So it's Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, and Nakobe.
Okay.
Now, of course, Smile Monday is there too from the Eagles. I mean, from the Bulldogs. He's on the Eagles team now too.
Right.
But originally, it's us.
What's it like between you got all these Georgia players and then you got all these Alabama players? I
I
mean,
mean, it's like taking the best of both worlds, shaking them
right,
up, and then sending them to Philly.
right,
So what it's like, Georgia plus Alabama equals Super Bowl.
exactly. I actually wanted to ask you, what is the name? Like, I know you, all you ladies do community work around the NFL,
Yes.
and I would love to have all yourself and the rest of the ladies on the show at some time, like maybe some point later in the season if it's doable. What's the name of your group again?
It's moms, which is mothers on the move.
Right, and I know there's like a social media outlet pages. I know you have one on Facebook, correct?
Right. And Instagram.
Okay. Can you explain exactly, what what you ladies do?
So we are a group, of course, of collective moms, and we originated from Georgia and transitioned over to Philly. And we knew that we wanted to do something in the community.
Right.
Everyone focuses on our sons and what they do and what they give. Well, we wanted to let everyone know that behind every good son, man, child that's been raised is a strong woman, a mother. And we have so many similarities in some of us being single moms, having to raise our children and them being examples. So we wanted to do something off the field in the community, in the area that we serve to bring back to community, show that, hey, we're giving as well.
Now, is it just Moms on the Move? Is that like NFL wide, or is it just with the Eagles? Or
No, that's just us right now. We would
okay,
eventually like to open it up to other moms,
right.
in the NFL, because we like to support each other. We do support each other in our endeavors, and we eventually would like to open it up to other moms
Okay.
to add their support to show, those that are passionate about giving back in the community like we are. We like to open it up and give them membership, bring them on in, and let them help us get to working.
Did I know earlier this? I believe it was back in May. The Eagles did the. I know they do the autism walk every May. Now, did you ladies get involved in that as well?
Actually, it was something that we wanted to be part of, but uh, time conflicts and schedules. My daughter, she was graduating college.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Congratulations.
mhm. Mimi, that's Nolan's mom. She has a son who now he's also an awesome football player. She was taking him around to different universities. Um, Tony, she's opened up her second daycare in Florida. Shay still has two young children. So everybody was kind of busy during
Right.
that time. So we could make our schedules coincide with what was going on.
Okay. And is there any charities that Nakobe's involved with, like within the Philly area or maybe South Jersey, Delaware?
Yeah,
They
Kobe has his own foundation, which is Kind Hearts for Life.
okay.
So we are definitely active in the Philly community with Kind Hearts for Life. We done the football camps, the youth football camps. We just had one there in May in Philly,
Mhm.
and we'll be doing something for Thanksgiving and Christmas too.
I want to get into the banner drops tomorrow night. I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure Nakobe's ecstatic, like Eagles Nation.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure you know, you weren't at the Super Bowl, correct? Because of your surgery,
No,
right?
no, no. I was there
That's right.
with the boot and the crutches and the scooter. I was there.
What I mean, going into that game, and I'll say this: the cockiness of the Kansas City Chiefs. The media not even giving Eagles any respect. And I've seen the video where all the players were talking the night before in the meeting, I guess in the hotel, and Jalen said what he had to say. Saquon, Nick Sirianni, we could go on, but I think those guys were just tired of hearing, no Eagles, Philly just not getting any respect at all. I mean, what was the mentality in Nakobe just like going into that Super Bowl? I mean, I know he couldn't play, but, showing moral support on the sidelines, and if you could touch on that.
I knew the guys were going to go in there and handle business. They were going to go in there, handle business. All they had to do was keep doing what they've been doing, what they had done all season. And they didn't. They let their actions do the talking. They didn't have to be about many words. They put the money where the mouth is. So
right. I mean, to me, it was Kansas City being the big bully in the yard, and the Eagles just beating them down, giving them a shellac, and then taking their lunch money, punching them in the jaw, and that team couldn't do nothing.
Right.
I mean, just going back to Super Bowl 57. I mean, that game was ours. Just a couple calls not going our way. It was just retribution, and just I believe this team is going to go back to the Super Bowl and win it, and I believe we could be on to something special here.
I have no doubt.
I mean, let's go back to the Georgia days with, Nakobe, Jordan, Jalen, Nolan Smith, Kaylee Renga. I mean, that, just bringing that mentality. What was their mentality just going into the championship game there?
They dogs. They brought that dog mentality to Philly. So now you got the Philly dogs, eagle and a dog. We got the top runners.
Before you jumped on, I'm 53. I'm a 30-year season ticket holder of the Eagles. And, this has to be the golden age of the Philadelphia Eagles. I've seen some bad years with this franchise. I know the young folks are fortunate. 3 Super Bowls in 8 years. We were lucky. We lost Super Bowl 15 to the Raiders, and the Eagles didn't get back till Super Bowl 39, which they had in their grasp, but they just couldn't pull it in against New England with T.O. And, here we are, 2017. They beat Brady. The last 2 out of 3 Super Bowls you play Patrick Mahomes, and it's just this age of Jalen Hurts and Nakobe and the guys, just the whole mentality and the job Howie Roseman has done is just phenomenal. And this definitely is the golden age of the Philadelphia Eagles, and I just think the sky's the limit with this team going forward. I know I just keep rambling on because I'm fired up. How many wins would you say this year?
We're going to probably lose maybe 4 games.
I was saying at least 11 or 12 wins myself.
So
now, is there, before Nakobe got hurt, I know this is a pretty serious injury. Is there like a trying to think of the word. Is there like a pregame thing that he does or anything special?
One thing that we always do together before every game is we pray. So if I can't get to him, he's going to call me and we're going to pray together before that game. So that's one thing that we've done from his Georgia days and even with the Eagle days. So we pray together.
Nice. I'm just wondering if there's like anything like him and the guys, like the team does, beside, other than pray, do they I know they get in the huddle there and they fire each other up pregame and on the field and stuff. I just wonder if there was like anything else that Kobe may do just to get himself
I
fired up
mean,
for the
I
game.
I know he's gonna listen to his favorite tune, whatever that may be. He's
Right,
gonna have it in his ear. He's gonna probably take him a little nap,
right,
and he's gonna get himself ready. Now, what they do behind doors in the Eagles' house, I don't know because I'm not part of
right.
that. So if they do something special, he hasn't shared that with me, but I know that he's gonna have his music on, getting himself ready.
Now let's go back to when Nakobe was drafted. I know he was projected to be a first round pick, correct?
Right?
And he had that shoulder injury.
Yep.
And the Eagles took Nakobe in the third round. And what was his like? If you watch, some of these other players, like you look at an Aaron Rodgers, not drafted late, just sitting there waiting, like going back to draft day. What was his mentality like?
Uh, well, it was unforeseen, you
Right,
know, but you know, how do you really prepare when you don't know what you're walking into? Had we kind of been prepared, if someone told us beforehand, we could have been ready. But we go in thinking one thing and another thing happened. We just had to emotionally and mentally divert and say, okay, it is what it is. This is where we are now. So when he was drafted at 83, we were happy. You know, we were
right,
elated. And I knew wherever he went, he was going to go in with the same dog mentality, give it all he got. And of course, he was going to play with a chip on his shoulder.
right. Now, was there any other? I know they always say, hey, there's a particular team said, oh, if you're there, we're going to take you. Was there like any of those conversations with other teams in the NFL during the draft?
No, for us, I mean, it was as if we were there all along. We didn't have any special connections with anyone in the NFL or anything. So we were just waiting, just like the world was waiting. We was waiting and watching. Uh, I'll just say our representation at that particular time didn't prepare us for um unexpected events that could have happened. So we were just there waiting, just like the rest of the world was.
So back during the combine, was Kobe able to participate in that, or did he have his shoulder injury at that time?
He should not have physically participated in there,
Right,
but when you're young and you're excited and it's something that you want to do, you don't want to be stopped. Sometimes you feel like I got to go do this. He should have been advised not to participate at that particular time, but he wasn't.
right.
So he went out there and he did what he could do when actually he should not have participated, but he did. And it is what it is. We move forward. We learned.
I mean, going back to the collegiate days with Nakobe, was there any game besides the championship games or the bowl games he won? Was there any particular favorite game that he?
My favorite game was the pick six uh,
Right,
against Florida.
right,
So that was my absolute favorite game because, his mom being at every game, you must imagine that I almost tore the stands up. So, yeah, that was absolutely my favorite game.
I mean, I'm going back to last year, the famous leap by Saquon against Jacksonville. Nakobe, picked that pass off in the end zone to hold on to that win last year against Jacksonville, which basically sealed the deal in that game towards the end of the game.
Oh, you talking about the game of the season last year?
Yeah, the Jacksonville where, the famous leap by Saquon. Jacksonville was driving, and Trevor Lawrence threw a pass in the end zone, which was picked off by Nakobe to basically put the game away.
Yes. So, of course, in the league, yes, but I think you asked me about the collegiate days. That's the
Yeah, I
one
know.
I'm
I
talking about.
jumped
Yeah,
ahead.
but oh yeah. So, I mean, I enjoy all aspects of football. You know, when it's a competition out there, to see all the players do what they do. I think
Right.
they all are gifted and talented. And I just love watching the game. You know, of course, I'm going to have a special love because my son is out there, but I
Right.
still have a love for the game.
Right. Well, like I was, to go back to your, the moms, like I said, I'd love to have you ladies, if we could set something up, coming up down the road, having all you ladies on if it's possible, you could get everybody together. I know schedules conflict.
Yeah, I'll talk to, like I said, Shay, which is Jordan Davis' mom, Mimi, Nolan Smith mom, and Tony, who is Jalen Carter's mom. I'll talk. I'm sure we'll be able to get together and make this happen.
Okay, because actually we have a colleague of ours on our network, Eddie Pree. They're saying 12-5. The schedule is tougher than last year. Now I believe the schedule is definitely tougher this year.
But I
That
think the Eagles are built for toughness.
of course.
You know,
Wait.
so I don't think we back away from anything. From what I've seen, or it's we're seeing. You know, they're built for toughness.
Let me ask you this question: as far as this is Nakobe's third defensive coordinator, I know he played under Jonathan Gannon his rookie year. I believe he played under Sean Desai in 23, and Vic Fangio coming in last year and just reshaping this defense, turning it in to what it, you know, a phenomenal defense last year. They started out of the gate 2-2, and then really they never looked back. I mean, out of the three coordinators, was there a fate? How can I put it? Was there just did Nakobe prefer to play? Obviously, I'm sorry, I can't reword it. Can you describe each coordinator that Nakobe played that he
But
preferred?
well, each coordinator, from my experience, you know, they bring their own they bring their own talents and their own gift and their own way of doing things to the
Right,
team. And so I'll say Kobe is just like bread. He goes with anything. So whatever they bring, he can jive with whoever. Whatever if they bring in, if this is their way of doing it, then he can adjust and adapt to that way of doing it. If it's another way of doing it, he can adjust and adapt to way of
right,
doing things. So his ability to adapt is unmatched. I'll say that because in some environments you just have to adapt. There's no complaining about it. It's just going in, adapting to their ways, and making it happen.
right. And just, I mean, compared to just go back to the Super Bowl from 57 to 59. I mean, would you say with the team, the Kobe and all the guys, there was a different mentality from 57 to 59? I mean, coming off that loss in 3 years ago.
Yes, I think so from the young guys because none.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if Miss Dean got knocked off. Technical difficulty here. Oh, she might have got knocked off. Hold on. Bear with it, folks. We seem to have these technical difficulties. As I did end zone to end zone last night, we were having all kinds of stuff going on. Joe Sullivan checking in. Thanks for checking in, Joe. Can't wait till tomorrow night. Hey, that banner, that place is the lake wall shake tomorrow night. I mean, it's just going to be rocking. Let's give Miss Dean a minute or two to log back on. Joe Sullivan, you can check him out on Out of the Box Sports Network, our brother show over there, the Sully Squad. They come on Mondays at 6. Matter of fact, Joe, Sean Kilrain, and myself did the old school last week. You may want to check it out with. Hold on one second, folks. Okay, folks, we're back, and then Miss D was logging back on. Actually, Joe, it's a Harold Carmichael jersey, number 17. It does look like a Joel's jersey, but Miss Dean is back in. Let's see how we can. Hey, Miss D.
Yes, I'm back.
We always have these mechanical difficulties every so often. Thanks for logging back on, but I believe we were talking about the mentality from Super Bowl 57 to 59, as you were saying, like, Nakobe obviously was a rookie with a couple of the other guys. And can you touch on that as you were talking before you got knocked off?
Yeah, I was saying the experience. So once you get out there being a rookie and now being a third year and going to the Super Bowl, you bring experience.
Right.
You add experience to the knowledge that you have. Your skills are heightened. You get to play, of course, on a higher level. So and then the expectations. You know what some of the expectations are. You know what expectations look like. So you go with them head on. You know what to expect, what this look like, how this feel, how I should attack this. So I think just them having growth helped tremendously. And plus the team is just awesome anyway. So
right. And we have a friend of ours on our show here, Joe Sullivan, checking in, just saying looking forward to having Nakobe back, especially back in the starting lineup. With after the year he had last year, along with Zach Bond. And we got Tom Fogarty checking in. Hey, Mike, thanks for checking in, Tom. Matter of fact, it was a friend of mine thought I had a Ron Jaworski jersey on, and I got actually number 17, which is Harold Carmichael, but I know that's Nakobe's. Was that always Nakobe's number, speaking of 17?
yes, high school, college, and now in NFL. Yes.
Okay. Just wanted. I'm drawing a blank. Just bear with me. I was touching on something and got into these. Let me ask just this question. I mean, Nakobe is coming off a very serious injury. And I mean, the rehabbing he had to just go through had to be just to rebuild his knee and everything else like that. I mean, can you touch on just the work that he had to put in just to get back to where he is right now?
He's put in a tremendous amount of work, and not just physical, but even mental, because
Right.
you have to know that it touches on the mental as well as the physical, and the mental can play on the physical can play on the mental. So he's definitely had to do his push-ups on both sides.
Right. I know it's not, played sports myself, but not, being an NFL athlete. I mean, a couple of years ago, I sprained a meniscus in my MCL, and just to come, being about 50 years old to bounce back from that was just, but I just can't imagine Oh, I don't know. You were going in and out. Mine was just coming back from, torn patella tendon. I mean, just putting in that hard, like you said, not just physically, but mentally, just to get back to be, especially now when you said the doctor will give him the okay by week 5, or that's the time frame. Were you able to hear me? Because I don't know. I know my headphones were going in and out. Let's see. I don't know. Are you still there, Miss Dean? Guess we got. Hold on a second. Oh, there you are. Oh, I think we are having some. Yeah, let me. Oh, there you are. Let's see. Hey, Misty, I know we keep going in and out, and
Yeah, we gonna blame AT&T today, okay? So we gonna blame AT&T, and I even had their Wi-Fi, so we definitely gonna blame AT&T.
oh,
Cause I'm home. I'm home on my cell phone, and I'm on AT&T's Wi-Fi. So I'm gonna put AT&T on the wall of shame right now.
Well, it's not. I mean, last night I did a show and we just had mechanical difficulties the whole bit, and it's always a glitch with this stuff. But I want to thank you for coming on and debuting Fuji's Philly Flair. It's a shame, Nakobe, we couldn't have Nakobe on, but hopefully, we'd have to have you back sometime during the season along with the other ladies, mothers from Georgia, and hopefully we could set that up. But before I let you go, can you give us a prediction of a score tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I think we're gonna beat the cow and the boy out of them. And I think the score is gonna probably be something. I think we may play them kind of conservative, because after so long, we don't have to drag them through the mud. They're down enough, so we don't have to keep dragging them. So maybe it's gonna be by at least 20 points.
I agree. I mean, at least we don't have to deal with Micah Parsons anymore. Was shoved off the frozen tundra of Green Bay and all that cold weather. He could have it. As far as we don't have to deal with him 2 games a year anymore and have to. In a way, not to touch on that, and I know you want to get out of here, but it's just, he deserved to get paid, but Jerry Jones just continues to, run that franchise into the ground, which we thank him for. Just keep doing it for another 20 years if you can. But, I'm going to. I want to thank you for coming on Fuji's Philly Flair again, and hopefully we'll see Nakobe sooner than later, and tell him we give him our best, and know he's going to come back 100% fired up and pick up right off where he left off last year. Thank you again, and have a good night, and we appreciate your time.
Thank y'all for having me. Hey, I was glad to be here. I appreciate it.
You're most welcome, and we'll see you again soon, and go Birds.
Go Birds.
Have a good night.
You as well.
Thank you.